Indians who were around here with the Unami Indians, Unami original people. They actually used the island more as a hunting ground, rather than a place to live. And we found artifacts from them as recent as last December 10th. Starting in the lower left-hand corner of the map, you'll see the Unami family, Indian squaw, their child, behind the deer. Notice their simple garments. The deer, abundant on the island then, and still abundant now. Many people have seen them this week. There were 3 who pranced across the Straight above them, you see 2 Canadian geese flying. Canadian geese fly these parts on their travels north and south, depending upon what time of year it is, and they always leave the mark behind them. Straight across from the Canadian geese, you see 2 very large birds. They're great blue herons. At one time near extinction, however, they have been having more blue herons. And last week I saw, most people right away saw 6 of them flying overhead. It's really pretty. They're a beautiful bird. You can see them. Next to them is a warrior Indian with his bow looking towards the island. In the other corner, you'll see any good map has a compass on it, and you can see how the island is almost true north. Right next to the compass is a turtle, and the Unami word Unami, which is the name for our one of the arrow lodge, means turtle. Okay, looking on the actual island itself. Starting in the very south tip, you'll see a very large tree. This was a sycamore tree that was washed away in the 1930s, or yes, 30s, I believe. And that was called a friendship tree, where scouts from different groups would go down, hang out, and talk and find out about each other. Straight going north from that, there's a clearing with an Indian and a fire. This represents our ceremonial grounds, where we will have our recognition campfire on Friday, and also where the Order of the Hour holds their ordeal of brotherhood ceremonies this week. On the bottom half of the island, moving to the left, you see a very long hogan. This is the type of house that Indians would live in, and in that hogan actually represents this place where our present Unami Lodge stands. Continuing left, you'll see 2 Indian women building fires and working on preparing dinner. When the meals are prepared, is of course our dining hall, which we're in right now. Straight above the 2 Indian women, you'll see a well, and the well, of course, represents our north well right outside the dining hall, one of the oldest structures in Canada, if not the oldest. Straight above that, you'll see an Indian hogan with the sign for wampum, or Indian money around it, representing our city hall where business transactions and money transactions take place. Going straight above that, you'll see 2 birds, a Baltimore Oriole on the left and a Blue Jay on the right. These represent where the Nature Lodge is. The Nature Lodge is no longer used. It was used from about the 30s to the mid-80s, and we now have a flying environmental center down between Pullman and Baker sites. Right above the 2 Blue Jays is another long hogan representing where the staff lives, the staff quad area, right now. Next to the staff quad area, you'll see the face of the Indian medicine there. This, of course, represents our health lodge. Straight below me, you'll see 2 lacrosse sticks on a field, and below that, you'll see an Indian playing a game. This represents our field where we play sports, like we did today at the campfire event. We still play lacrosse here. We had a troop who was playing a lot last week. The Indian is playing a very popular Indian game called a hoop and pole, where they were trying to spear a rolling hoop. Maybe guys in the Indian war class will be learning about that this week. If you move directly to the left from that Indian past City Hall, Hall, there's Wampum around the Kogan. Keep going towards the north, you'll see another clearing with an Indian gentleman telling the story. This represents our Goodman Stockade, where we had a fun and opening campfire on Sunday, where of course we tell stories and sing songs. Directly above that, you'll see a grove of trees, which has been washed away. There's also a former chapel area. When the water is low, you can see the remains of an old chapel that used to be there. To the right of that, you'll see three sticks sticking up with pine cones on them, and that represents our Woodland Chapel area that's being renovated this week. Actually, it's being renovated all summer. We've had a lot of help from troops on it this week. Looking below the entire map, you'll see the sign that says here that the Treasure Island Spirit kindle fires of friendship. This sign hung at the fireplace in the dining hall, which is no longer here. It used to stand in this corner over here, where One and I was sitting by the paddle over there. It used to be in that area. So there's an open air dining hall. It was closed like this. You can see where the dining hall is extended the floor piece with cemented wood right along here. A part of the original dining hall is still here, but the part that we're in right now is built in the early 30s. And directly below that sign, there's a gold plate that's toward the very top of the indoors, and that gold plate represents the high water mark on Treasure Island in 1955 when Hurricane Diane swept through this area, and obviously we all get underwater right now. So you can see there's been many floods here throughout the years, but that's been high water mark so far. The coast doesn't have to get those. And now we're talking to the cabinet over there. There's a little history yard. Be sure to read that sometime when you're on the dining hall this week. Telling about when we first did the facility council got the property from. Thank you for taking it.
The campfire, believe it or not. I do have a special favor. If any of you gentlemen don't have the current edition of the Scout Handbook, they are on sale in the trading post. The camp director reminded me of that. Okay, let's make this happen. Normally at Treasure Island, we would go through a whole procedure of what flag you sat under, how you came to camp, who hasn't brushed their teeth in a week, and all those wonderful ways of dismissing the camp and its staff. We're running late. We want to proceed directly to the campfire. The easiest way to do that is by rows. I'm going to dismiss you one row at a time. You'll be ushered out by the staff members, and we'll proceed directly to the ceremonial campgrounds. I would ask one thing though. We know the process, the procedure, and it'll take a good 15 minutes to get us in there and seated. Will one person please stay behind at each table and help clear the dishes off? That will save us a considerable amount of time. If one volunteer will stay for about 10 minutes to help clear off the table.
You know.
Working on the railroad, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, working on the railroad. Taxi out to the war, working on the railroad, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, working on the railroad. Down the South Fork and alive, working on the railroad, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, working on the railroad. I got one up at number 6, working on the railroad, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, working on the railroad. Down south the way to heaven, working on the railroad, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, working on the railroad. Down south the pearly gates, working on the railroad, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, working on the railroad. This song ran out of time, working on the railroad, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, working on the railroad. Yes, working on the railroad, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, taxi, yay, working on the railroad.
summer. And he got back on shore, and he walked down to shack one. Luke Spealer was taking a little afternoon nap, and the wolf blew up. And boy, did Lou wake up in a hurry when he found out that the furry season. Al Dory, you here? My goodness, all these guys disappeared. Today's right. Your visitor Sunday. Somebody would say, what's that thing behind the tree there, that funnel of the pipe? Tell them that's our telephone system. Go over there and yell into it. Somebody will call you back. Some mother would come up, wonder what that was. We call it the groundhog bear hole. You go over, look down, and see the groundhog. Okay, thank you.
Ingangu, Ingangu.
Making it happen. That's what Treasure Island is all about. Join with me. Trail the eagle. Trail the eagle, flying all the time. First the star and then the light will on our bosom shine. Keep by me, blaze the trail, and we will follow. On the eagle's call, on brothers, on until we're eagles all. This afternoon, we spent a good couple years up at what we like to call the Big Island. Hey, Big Island, that's all. It's called Eagle Island Scout Camp. It's funny, it really was a period of transition in the 70s. Yes, Treasure Island was closed in ways that was sad. There was a lot of great scouting going on at Eagle Island. Take a walk with me just for a minute up the North Trails and cross the Mitchell Bridge. And that's imaginary right now, trust me. over the 70s, from approximately 72 through 79 at Eagle Island, as a number of us reminisce this afternoon. Never forget the admin building, certainly Elk Lodge and Deer Lodge up there. 1972 brought us Hurricane Agnes. You could drive that barge from the Pennsylvania side and pull up to the porch of Deer Lodge. It was perfect, trust me. The Scouts remember cooking your own food. Will you ever forget those battery-powered cooking guys?
Oh my God.
I'll tell you something else. We like to think of that island as really big. It was really spread out. You had to walk for your food and then pick up your food in those brown baskets. How can we ever forget those? Certainly we had the cable ferry up there. We had a lot of time, fun time on that. I remember how many guys it used to take that cable ferry with a truck or a tractor crossed on it. By the way, we had the red tractor and the blue tractor, you might recall. And who can ever forget the Bronco, Jerry? Somebody said we had a problem with skunks up there. I don't know. Some scouts thought they were cats with black cats with white stripes. Whatever the reason, there were plenty of skunks up at Eagle Island. A couple sayings up there. Do geese fight? How can you forget the camp-wide cookout, barbecue chicken at the pavilion? That was while the roof was still up on the pavilion. And will Dr. Nick and the Hart Scout Reservation camp staff ever forget the water polo games up at Eagle Island? I don't think so. In fact, by the way, guys, we should return Dr. Nick's camp sign. We've had it for 10 years. It's time to take it back. Some great people up at Eagle Island. Ted Simmons, just a tremendous guy who's a camp director up there. Nelson Leaf, my good friend Ray Braun, who's our camp director at Hart Scout Reservation this year. A lot of the people that really made Eagle Island tick. Dick Barnes, the founding camp director, is here with us tonight. Dick, we're really glad to have you. And who's ever going to forget the Barthomatics? Somebody called them the Magamatics. I remember the process at the end of the week when the staff member walked along. He put his flashlight down that hole and he said, that's definitely paper in there. Let's get the small guy to the truth. Ready? Okay. Get his feet, lower him down, pick up the paint. No, not the corn cob. Watermelon can stay. Good job. Good job. Okay. Now, a couple times, one time I remember we had to move the program from Eagle Island to put the high water over to Hart. Hart never saw some of the kids in a week that had to get their swimming merit badges. A couple guys remember the building I-95, that road down the middle of the camp. We never saw so many Army men. We never saw so many cases of beer come onto that island either to help build a road. I don't know. How long can you tread water? Sorry, we're out of ice. Where's the ranger? That was another favorite saying up there. Anyway, Eagle Island's a great camp. We remember it well. Many of us today have the same feeling for Eagle Island as many of you had about Treasure Island. It's a camping pier, and I'd like to see Eagle Island reopened. We want to put a coach course up there. This camp staff is using that island certainly for the rifle range, the archery range, plenty of wilderness up there. We want to use that land. We want to redo those buildings and put some money because it's a great island. Eagle Island is a great camp. Thank you.
Almighty chorus, the eagles ring, on candy and golden days on by, where motherhood and friendship have led them on to be, and that it is eternal, eternally, on a mighty river, named the Delaware. Humbly boast our name, our ever rejoice blessedly, shouting and with by the river that surrounds thee, rolling mile on mile, neath the stars that shine above thee. Dear old treasure isle, we who know thy woodland treasures pause in thought awhile, calling back to mind thy treasures, dear old treasure isle. Linger yet around the fire, its last bright glow.